Okay, hello. Welcome. Uh, I'm Loverboy821, but you probably know that because you can see me on, like, my name on the thing, and also, if you're actually showing up, I assume you probably already know me. But, um, hi. So, I haven't streamed in like 4 months or something ridiculous because, you know, me and Life have had beef recently, and Life has hands, apparently. But, I've been meaning to stream more. Like, in November, I was like, I'll start streaming the first day of December, and then stream every day in December, and then I didn't, and then I was like, oh, okay, starting in January, I'll stream every day in January, and then I didn't. And then, in like, you know, January, I was like, ah, yes, February, I'll start streaming every day. And now we're in March, and it's March 5th. And I don't know that I'll be able to stream every day in March. But the longer I went without streaming, the harder it was to, like, start streaming again, which I mentioned in Also, I went live for less than a minute, and a bot already hit me with that, yo, you want bots to watch? Yeah. The longer I went without streaming, the harder it was to start streaming again, because I was like, wouldn't it be weird if I just returned? Anyway, while I was in my, just chillin', I was watching a channel called Drew Durnell, or Durnell. He's really funny, a lot funnier than I am. So I recommend going to watch him. He's a YouTube channel, though. I don't know that he streams on Twitch. But anyway, one of the things I liked watching is, like, he's like a history guy. He does, like, you know, strategy games and stuff. And one of the strategy games he does is Ages of Conflict World War Simulator. And I was like, wow, that looks really fun. And then it happened to be on sale. And I was like, here, cowabunga it is. It was like $6. So I grabbed it. And I think it's really cool. With, like, what you can do with it is, like, you can make your own maps, which I did. I made this map called Burning Land, I called it. I named it after a map you could play in Master of Monsters. It was just me getting, like, familiar with the concept. But I actually kind of like the map I came up with from, like, a balancing perspective. Anyway, the crux of the game is it's a simulator. You don't actually do much. You set it up, and then, like, it just goes. So, like, you put down different nations, and then, like, they can do things like they can attack other nations or try and expand their territory. They gain money, they form alliances, they have revolts, all of that good stuff. So, and then I was like, okay, I'd kind of like to do a video in this, but, like, I don't know what kind of video to do. Like, I don't want to... I like Drew Durnell's videos, but I'm not as knowledgeable in, like, actual... Like, it's hard to describe, like, but I'm missing an element, I think, to do videos like that, or streams like that, as much as I enjoy them. But what I decided to do while I was playing around a little bit is... you can, like, name the different nations and stuff. And I was like, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get all of my followers, and I'm gonna name a nation after each one of my followers, and let them fight to the death. And the thing is the map I made is huge, so I'm thinking, like, this will be the first follower war, is what I'm calling it. And we'll do more as we get more followers. Like, you know, I'm not saying we're gonna do this for every stream or anything crazy like that. I just mean, like, you know, like, maybe we'll do another stream later. I definitely want to get back to Legaia. I have a bad habit of just not finishing games, but Legaia is really near and dear to me, so I fully intend to get back to that. But I don't want it to be my first stream back because I don't want no one to know about it, basically. Right, so anyway, what I'm thinking is, if we get more followers next time, I'll edit the scenario, which I've made the scenario, Loverboy821's followers, and I'll put in our new followers. And also, whoever wins the follower war, in the next follower war, I'll give them some kind of benefit to, like, give them a better chance of winning again. Like, some kind of prize. Like, maybe I'll give them an extra city to start with, or maybe I'll just give them a little bit more land, or maybe I'll just move them to a better spot. Let's hit play so I can kind of show you. So this is my map I made. The white is just regular land. The dark gray here are mountains, and you can't, like, pass by mountains, so they're, like, cutting things. This gray are hills, which you can go by, but it's harder terrain. And, like, this lighter gray here and here and here represent, like, either tundra or desert, which is to say less valuable terrain that is, like, harder to, you know, get stuff from. Each of the countries are named after someone in my one of my followers. So we got Aces, and someone took Ducky, and Bloom, and Dumpy Bump. We got Greg Clefable. We got Chadwick over here, who actually has followed me twice because he has an account that he couldn't get back into, so he's followed me on Chadwick Mo and Chadwick Me, but I only put him once as Chadwick. We got Night Reaver and Doomsword. We got Trash Panda Tony. Yeah, so we got Cold as Grave, Rezaru, Slower Coolio's over here. Krog and Quarty Show, G-Man, Coleslaw, Pokemon Trainer 567. We got Baron Bubbles, who I just called Bubbles, over here. These things, like, along the water, are areas where you can pass the water. Like, you can't just, like, start a boat from, like, here and go here. You have to, like, cross the water at the crossable spots. So, like, yeah. And each of the countries, this is Minty, by the way, he's starting up here in these islands, start with 50 gold, and you need gold to buy troops and stuff. At no point will we see what troops they have, but generally, like, a rule of thumb is like, if someone gets attacked and they don't have troop. Also, let me check something real quick. I'm putting up statistics. I want to see if I completely block it with my stupid face. I do completely block it with my stupid face. We're gonna move me. I don't know where is a good spot. Maybe I'll just be smaller. Eee. There we go. Yeah, I'm tiny now. Alright, so we got Tiny Me. Yes. Are you guys able to read this? Because I'm, like, my eyes are really bad, so I can barely read it. At this size. But at the very least, I'm not really in the way. But we can, like, look at the area, which is how many pixels everyone takes up. Right now, everyone takes up 5 pixels. This is the maximum size map, and I made a lot of land. There's, like, 200 and, like, just over 200,000 tiles, and everyone's starting with 5 tiles. So this is gonna go fucking wild. Yes. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, we can look at the statistics, which, like, this is the area everyone currently has. We can look at the max area, which is, like, sorry, I just got called out in my Discord by Bubbles. He's like, "Oh yeah, I can't watch your stream because I'm at work." Sorry. Oh, by the way, we have a Discord, and I will share the Discord in the, because this is gonna go up on YouTube. In the description of the video, I will put up my Discord. There will also be a link to my Twitch, which I'm currently on, obviously. Anyone who follows on Twitch will be put in my next Battle Royale. Just for funsies. Maybe as time goes on, maybe there will be actual prizes. Who knows? I don't. I'm not saying there will be. I'm not saying there won't be. We got Trans Moth over here, which, yes. I'm gonna be as objective as possible and not root for anyone. Because I'm like, I love all of my followers. That said, some of my followers are obviously close to me in real life, so I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm not gonna tell you who right now. I probably told you before, but like one of these people is my younger brother, so like maybe I'll root for him a little bit, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just accept his destruction as it goes. Yeah. So I'm gonna start this. Oh yeah, what I was saying is this statistic shows you like the max area, as in like what is the biggest the country has ever been. So it'll be like the biggest countries in history will be here, because we're starting at year 0. This could go on and be done in like 200 years. This could go on for like 5,000 years. If it goes on for too long, I will speed it all the way up, because I'm not trying to have a 30-hour stream right now. But it could go on for a while. I'm probably gonna start at fucking 3 times speed, just because of how big I made the map. So we are starting with 60 nations, which, by the way, setting this up really made me realize how many people how many 60 people actually is. And I gotta say, I'm really appreciative that you all followed my Twitch channel. I would have loved to have also put on the people who have subscribed to my YouTube channel in the Battle Royale, but I didn't. It's a little bit harder to look at my YouTube subscribers by name, and also a lot of my YouTube subscribers are double ups of my Twitch followers, but I don't know, but like not the same name, just like the same person who have like 2 different named accounts. So I also didn't want to double anyone up and give them an unfair advantage in this completely pointless competition. Here we can see the age. We're starting at year 0. Everyone's 0 years old. Revolts can happen if one of you guys is bad at ruling a country, and there might be new countries that show up. So it is possible that one of my not subscribers ends up winning. Like, someone is their country, it revolts, a new country is formed, and then that country wins. That's entirely possible, I guess. Here you can see the gold amount. They generate gold based on how much land they have and how valuable the land is, especially if they have like multiple cities in their land. And then alliances. The alliances, like the total size of an alliance. So like, yes. Let's go into God mode to change some settings real quick. Start wars, yes. Looping map, yes. Combat efficiency progressive, which means that, like, they have each country has a combat efficiency of like 1 to 6 that represents how good their military is. Progressive means that changes. I've made the max alliance size 20, so I guess 20 of the 60 of you could be in one alliance. I don't suspect that will ever happen, but like, yeah. Core purchases, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. We're gonna turn off God mode, because I don't want to be tempted to cheat in anyone's favor. And we're gonna hit play. Alright, already we have 3 treaties. Okay, if we stop here, Carpe Diem and Jarvirata. I can't say a lot of your guys' names, and I'm really sorry. Formed an alliance. RPG Haste declared war on G-Man. I think they're up here. Yeah, G-Man's up here. Where's our RPG Haste is here. Okay. I'm gonna turn down the fucking volume. Game sounds can stay up. It's the fucking music that needs to go down. Okay. Maybe we'll start slower until things, you know, get bigger. I don't want to miss anyone. Apal declared war on Slower Coolio, so that's over here, and Apal seems to be... Apal is dead. Coleslaw declared war on Pokemon Trainer. Poggy Girl declared war on Monster. Valxian and Grenisect formed an alliance. Trash Panda Tony declared war on Shabina. Oh god, you guys are fucking going crazy. The Holy Crusader declared war on Someone Took Ducky. Night Reaver declared war on Grenisect. I mostly don't want to miss anyone getting taken out. We did have that happen already. I don't know if I balanced the spawns, or rather, it's better to say, I know for a fact I didn't balance the spawns. I just kind of put people where they seemed to fit. Chadwick declared war on the Honorable Mention. Damick declared war on Bubbles. Fun fact, Damick is actually my first ever follower. Cold as Grave gave Ravenfire Gaming 291 gold. Daily Dose of Rice declared war on Fluffy, which is funny because they actually know each other in real life. Oh. The Black Assassin was conquered by the Honorable Mention. And Jazzmatazzy was conquered by Damick. Ooh, that is definitely something. Minty supported Bubbles with 280 gold. They do like each other from... Oop, shit. Spectral Mary was conquered by Infinity Moon. RPG Haste gave Krog and Cordy Show money. Oh god. It is, Jesus Christ. Things do really just be happening, no. And who got conquered? Persakills TPG. Okay. Shit, maybe I need to slow it down even more. I can't keep the fuck up. I'm already tiny. I'm so little on the screen. Mr. Mag declared war. Ooh, what's going on here? The Wild Ace and Someone Took Ducky are at war. Wild Ace has more money. Also, he's in an alliance. I don't think Someone Took Ducky is long for this world over on this island over here. Water Bear was conquered by Infinity Moon. Where's Infinity Moon? Oh, there they are. Infinity Moon has taken these, little islands. Doomed Sword declared war on Transmoth. Javorta supported Carpe Diem, so they are serious about these alliances. Who is this? Oh, that's Transmoth. No, it's not. Oh, that's Doomed Sword. Getting eaten by Transmoth over here in the corner. This is a desert surrounded by mountain and hills. Oh, they pieced out? Okay. Oh, shit. Lol's Gamer was conquered by Oh, shit. Aces was conquered by Someone Took Ducky. Aces had an alliance of 4 people, and Ducky was just like, nah. Damn. Putrishin joined the Eric Buliddy Syndicate. Oh, RPG Network 4 was conquered by Winster 3. So 3 beats 4, apparently. G-Man declared war on Coleslaw. That would never happen. They are very close. Ooh, Bubbles. That's not Bubbles, that's Minty. Minty is conquered this entire island area, got into the mainland, and now started taking water tiles to get towards Damek, who killed Jazzmatazzy. Jazzmatazzy was here. I remember that because she was one of the first people I put down because she's one of my VIPs. So I put her to be the eye of the snake thing I made. The Holy Crusader joined the Eric B. Liddy Syndicate. Alright. So this is the Eric B. Liddy Syndicate so far. And they are... Oh, Funtime Roxy the Fox is being killed by Play Everyfin Nintendo. And the Wild Aces is back. He revolted against someone, took Ducky, and showed back up. So... Funtime Roxy the Fox was killed by Eric B. Liddy. A Distorted Matrix was killed by Ravenfire Gaming. And again, as Aces just showed, you can just return. I've been focusing mostly down here because it's easier to wrap my head around for whatever reason, but things are going on up here. We got Krog and QWERTY show. They have their little island over here, and they've almost taken all of the sea territory to get to Coolio, who also has a little island over here. Coolio didn't start on the island alone, though. They are winning, though. Despite the fact that Coolio has more land and more money. Do they have more money? He has a little bit more money, but they're pushing. Resolute supported Alabaster Bordeaux? Baudelaire. Jesus fuck. Saint Omega supported G-Man. Alright. Krog declared war on Winster. For the record, I'm considering Krog and QWERTY show to be QWERTY. Because Krog also separately followed me and is on this map. Someone took Ducky, declared war on Aces again. This time Aces is all by him lonesome. That being said, he does look like he's winning. Hot Dra Beast is at war with the Holy Crusader, who's part of the Eric B. Liddy Syndicate Alliance. Okay, things are calming down a little. I'll turn the speed back up. I think I have a better handle. Slower Coolio declared war on the Krog and QWERTY show. They were still at war when I last paid attention to them. Minty supported Bubbles. Okay, so Minty and Bubbles are friends, and so is Winster. Minty just keeps getting Bubbles money. I think Bubbles is the one who's actually doing the fighting. We got Jarvaretta. I thought she got conquered, or they got conquered, rather. No, they didn't. Okay, I misread something earlier then. Minty declared war on Coleslaw. Ooh, what's going on over here? Someone... Fluffy just got conquered by Daily Dose of Rice. Oh, and Aces is at war with the entire Eric B. Liddy Syndicate and his former Daily Dose of Rice coalition. Aces just started and he just conquered Shyvana. Let's not God, no statistics. Currently, the largest nation is Ravenfire Gaming, followed by Winster, followed by G-Man. G-Man and Winster combined are like the same size as Ravenfire Gaming. And then we have Chadwick. I did not even pay attention to how Chadwick was doing. So, fun fact, a reason... Oh, Fluffy got... Okay, so Fluffy came back after revolt against Daily Dose of Rice. Sorry, I was confused. I'm like, didn't he just get conquered? Slower Coolio was conquered by the Krog and QWERTY show. Hello? And so he's getting all of that. Ooh. And there's only one way to get it. He's like Australia right now, because he has 3 cities here and a bunch of land. But, I put Chadwick here because I kind of based this area on, an area that I called Ristalia. It's, from my D&D setting. and he was like at some point he became like the military leader of Restalia in one of our long-running campaigns, and so I'm gonna put him in Restalia. Play every sin Nintendo doing style. Okay. Walking drunk. Oh, and then we have Krog over here, currently at war with Daemok. Krog and the entire Carpe Diem alliance are at war with Daemok. Okay. Alliances, though. The Treaty of Coldest Grave. Okay, Coldest Grave has Alabaster, Reservoir, Mr. Mags, Ravenfire Gaming. Ravenfire Gaming is adding a huge, but then the Order of Daily Dose of Rice is almost as big with Daily Dose of Rice and Bloom. It's just Daily Dose of Rice and Bloom, I think? No, oh god. It also Daemok. I'm like, man, these two make up a lot more space than it looks like to me, but no. Daemok is part of the alliance, and Daemok is now the biggest. He's actually bigger than Ravenfire Gaming. I was gonna say he was the second biggest. Who did he conquer? I was busy looking. Pokemon Trainer was conquered by Krog. Alliance Carpe Diem Pact has Krog and Carpe Diem, and also Double Vintage. Greg Clefable is... Oh, they pieced out. He was at war with Double Vintage. The Treaty of Bubbles is Bubbles, Minty, and Coleslaw. I thought it was Bubbles, Minty, and G-Man, but it's actually Bubbles, Minty, and Coleslaw. G-Man is in the Saint Omega Alliance, which is funny because this is G-Man, this is Saint Omega, but Saint Omega is the one who's the alliance is named after. Treaty of Metal Gun. Allies with Walking Drunk, and giving him money for his war, but not joining his war, and he pieced out anyway, doesn't matter. The Monster 1000 Commonwealth with Monster 1000 and Dumpy Bump. Probably alliance mainly to stop the Eric B. Liddy Syndicate, which I thought the Eric B. Liddy Syndicate was a lot. Oh, Transmoth isn't in it anymore. They are in Operation Transmoth with the Wild Aces. Okay. So we have, this is the gold count. Ravenfire Gaming has the most gold at 18,000. And Daemok is close behind. And he's only close behind because he's spending his money right now to fight. So he's going down. Oh, Walking Drunk is second now. Metal Gun is at war with Coldest Grave and seems to... Oh, pieced out right before his capital was taken. That would have knocked him out of the game for now. Ooh, what's this? The Honorable Mention has honorably mentioned himself onto this continent with Chadwick. Okay, I think Daemok's not at war anymore. Now that Daemok's not at war, he's saving money faster. He's earning money faster than Walking Drunk. Oh, and Ravenfire Gaming is at war. With Saint Omega. Why is Ravenfire Gaming taking a fat L? Because her or his fucking military prowess is at 1. Well, his was at 6 when they were at war. Now Carpe Diem and Krog are attacking. Oh, and also Double Vintage. Daemok is now the largest country currently at play because... But G-Man did just quickly eat RPG Haste, but Daemok is the largest country at play mainly because Ravenfire Gaming just lost 6,000 territory. Krog is getting pretty... Krog is right there. Okay. Krog just went to... Daemok just went to war with Carpe Diem and Krog, so the Carpe Diem alliance. I did mention that Damick was my first ever follower. Like, he's the very first person to follow my channel. It would be really neat, and he just conquered Bubbles. It would be neat if he wins my first ever follower World War thing after being my first ever follower. I don't even think he's seen one of my videos in like 8 years. But he's still important to me, because it meant a lot when he followed me. Sorry, I was just taking a drink, because giving commentary on a world war is, taking a... Ooh, what happened here? Mighty Lad, revolted and got territory back from Damick. Damick can't respond to that yet, because he just killed Krog, and he's still going after Carpe Diem. So Damick ate this fucking rebellion, and oh, here's another rebellion. Jocelyn. Oh, Jocelyn is at war with Damick, and also at war with Mighty Lad. Mighty Lad joined the Order of Daily Dose of Rice. So Damick didn't try and get his land back. So Ravenfire Gaming has taken quite a loss. They went from having almost 18,000 land to less than 5,000 land. Damick ate the second biggest person, and now borders the new second biggest person. But the second, third, and fourth biggest person combined would need to, like, combine to equal Damick now. We're gonna go mosey on back down here. What's going on with this? Double Vintage is in a two-sided war against the Honorable Mention and Greg Clefairy, but never mind, they peaced out. So these are everyone who's 150 years old, since it's been 151, are just the people who haven't been eliminated yet. I'm more interested in the people who aren't. So Aces came back, Mighty Lad came back, Lillington and Josnan. I kept thinking that N was an R, and I was like, Josretin? No, it's Josnan. Or Josnan. Towers Kajik came back. Or Kojit. And this is Greg Clefable. I didn't choose most people's colors. I kind of just, like, let go in with the flow. Like, whatever color they were randomly assigned. I did give Bloom pink specifically. I gave Greg Clefable what I thought was pink at the time, but now kind of looks like more like a magenta color to me. I gave Aces blue and Chadwick red. I gave Minty his color specifically, because I don't know why, I just associate Minty with this color. Like, I don't remember what started that for me. Bubbles is back. Bubbles unconquered himself from Damick. That's neato. Which means Damick is losing some territory now. Coleslaw's getting pretty big. G-Man is no longer the second. It's Hot Beast and Cold as Grave. A lot of the northern countries are doing a lot better than the southern countries, I think. So it's a double-edged sword, because on one hand, there's more space up here to take, But on the other hand, there's like more countries up here, and also like as we get more followers, and I set up to do this again, a lot more people will be going up here just because of more space to do that. Down here, there's a lot more like, oh, you can only get from this island here and here, or there's an island here, mountain range, mountain range, mountain range. I don't really have any, like, because, like, I drew this map, you know, very beautiful. I'm great at drawing maps. I'm really not. And this is not one of the better maps I've drawn. It was more I was just getting comfortable with the map maker. Okay. Aces is in a 3-sided war here, so that's not good. Transmoth is just chilling down here, and this is all a desert. Transmoth is really not making that much money despite having a fairly large amount of territory. What they really need to do, I think, is try and go for Hadre Beast to get a second city going, or Hadre Beast needs to go in and finish off Transmoth so that they can not have a threat to the south, since Transmoth doesn't have enough money to really compete. What's going on over here? We got Monster against Eric B. Liddy. And Dumpy Bump is helping him. Oh, but Monster is taken out. And who is this? Oh, this is Eric B. Liddy. I thought this was Eric B. Liddy. Okay. Eric B. Liddy just gained a huge bit of territory. Night Reaver. Oh, Transmoth is over here somehow. They have both corners. I don't know how that's possible. I genuinely I don't know how. Ancient Transmoth secret. We got Axe Dabbles over here. Oh god, I didn't even notice Double Vintage took over this entire, like, goddamn. Dumpy Bup and, oh, never mind. As soon as I wanted to comment on it, it's like, we got 6 Strength 3, Ambro 0. We got Infinity Moon over here. Daily Dose of Rice is continuing to get bigger and stronger. Like, they're in an alliance with Bloom, but they've cut Bloom off from being able to get anywhere, right? Like, then again, I have no idea how Eric got over, or rather, Transmoth. I literally just called him by name, excuse me. I don't know how Transmoth got over here. There are a few people that I've been struggling not to call them by name. Wait a minute. How the hell is Ace over here? He owns this water territory somehow. Hello? Does anyone else own, like, a weird section? Oh, Coldest Grave took down... Oh, gosh. Damok is still pretty dominant, controlling the Slithery Boy, or Serpent Island, or whatever we're gonna call this area. I was thinking it would look like a snake, but I gave it like a wing. Ooh. Lillington was just taken out by Carpe Diem. Ravenfire Gaming just got back a bunch of their territory there. Oh, Saint Omega and G-Man are at war with Carpe Diem, who is... Saint Omega is in trouble, because they only have level 1 military, but G-Man has level 6 military. So G-Man's keeping Carpe Diem, or not Carpe Diem, Saint Omega alive. Carpe Diem would have eaten him easily. Chadwick gave Night Reaver some money. Grenisect is vibing. Eric B. Liddy, Play Airfin Nintendo, Puterson and Transmoth, as well as Hot Drew Beast. Nope, not Hot Drew Beast. Oh, Dumpy Bump is at war with the fucking Operation Eric B. Liddy again. We're gonna... Now that things are settled down more, we're down to 26 nations. We're gonna speed it back up like it was at the beginning. Got... Coldest Grave is at war with the Metal Gun, whatever. The treaty... Oh, the Treaty of Coldest Grave includes Ravenfire. I didn't even realize that. And so... And G-Man also. What the... That's a... This is a powerful alliance. Oh, did Omega get taken out? Yeah, Omega got taken out, and so G-Man joined them instead. Okay. There's a lot of supporting going on. They're giving money to other countries to fight in their stead. Hatra Beast is was pushing in a two-front war. Oh, Ravenfire Gaming got most of their territory. Oh, Ravenfire Gaming got all of their territory back. They're their peak again. Ooh. Hatra Beast is really big now. So is Ravenfire Gaming, shit. Oh god, this is a massacre over here. Night Reaver getting killed by Hatra Beast. Night Reaver gets killed by Eric B. Liddy. Oh, you're over here too, with Transmoth. Okay. Hatra Beast going insane. Walking drunk. Continental superpower. Coleslaw just ate Minty. I think Coleslaw ate Minty diplomatically. That's a thing that can happen. Like, Minty didn't get, like, killed. He just, like... Him and Coleslaw made a joint country. They were an alliance. Powers over here seem pretty stable. It seems like Hatra Beast is going to eat Transmoth, except Transmoth is part of the Order of Eric B. Liddy. So Eric B. Liddy and Transmoth are both pointing guns at Hatra Beast, while Hatra Beast points guns at them. And, oop, the war is popping off. Eric B. Liddy is definitely... Oh, but Eric B. Liddy's also at war with Dumpy Yeah, this is a definitely. Oh, Hotcher Beast just ate shit. They're getting eviscerated from both sides now. And ooh, Pog E-Girl has returned via Rebellion, as has Night Reaver. That. Oh, and Greencastle. Greencastle isn't one of my followers, if you can believe it. They just are. Double Vintage getting eaten by Dumpy Bump. It appears that Greg Clefable is now gone. That's sad. Ravenfire Gaming is... God, Damek is eaten. But Ravenfire Gaming and Hotcher Beast and Walking Drunk are all doing pretty fucking good. Oop. War against G-Man and Ravenfire Gaming. But he's now allied with Coleslaw, so... Oh, and he's allied with Daily Dose of Rice and Infinity Moon. The Daily Dose of Rice Syndicate is 58,000. The Treaty of Ravenfire Gaming is 51,000. So these are the two superpowers right now. The Eric B. Liddy League definitely holds a majority of the South, and they're getting much bigger right now. Holy shit. But this is a much more tenuous grasp on power than these two superpowers. But maybe if Eric B. Liddy Lee just keeps getting bigger like this, and these two are just staring down the barrel of each other's gun. Yeah, they're basically equal power. Like, obviously the Daily Dose of Rice Syndicate is bigger, but they have equal gold, and the Daily Dose of Rice Syndicate is actually have a weaker military presence right now. So like if they went to war, it would at least start in the favor of the Treaty of Ravenfire. So that would probably be best for them, just in a... Because Daily Dose of Rice Syndicate has more land... Ooh, what the hell? Double Vintage Coalition over here, just eating them. Eating into the Treaty of Raven... Oh, and there's the big war. And they peaced out. Okay. And they're kind of at war again? But they're not fighting, like, here. The Dumpy Bump Coalition. Oh! There is no Treaty of Ravenfire anymore. Oh, I think because G-Man got eated. Or joined with... Okay. Oh god. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, Damek is eviscerating people now. Chadwick is actually bigger than he's ever been, but his bar looks so much smaller just because of how much more Damek is getting to push the bars. A big part of this is the bigger you are, the more chance of like a revolt happening there is. Sorry, I took a drink while I was talking, like a person who's out of practice at streaming, because they haven't streamed in 4 months. Oh, who's up here? Cold as Grave. Part of Damek's Union. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh god, game starts spazzing out. The two superpowers are at war. There we go. Okay, so Damek is now in charge of Damek's Union, and Damek's Union is only the second big, the fucking Grenisect Coalition. Damek is huge, but the fucking Grenisect Coalition got more countries together to go against him, I guess. Yeah, and Walking Drunk has gotten huge as well, too. Ooh, and Eric B. Liddy is up to 27,000. There are 3 coalitions, and they're all of roughly equal power, actually. The countries that aren't in a coalition are in real trouble right the fuck now. Like Greencastle and Lilia. Let's see what the biggest countries in our history are. Damick is the biggest ever, and still currently is, as is the Walking Drunk. And then Eric B. Liddy. And then Beast once had an empire of 25,286, but he's completely dead. Ravenfire Gaming once had at their full power, and they're also completely dead, eaten by Walking Drunk just now. Walking Drunk and Damick are of roughly equal power here. As I said, though, there's about 200,000. They equate for 130,000 right now. Which means that if Eric B. Liddy can eat the... Oh, never mind, he's getting eaten by Grenisect. If Eric B. Liddy could consolidate the rest of the land that isn't being taken up by these two, we could have a big, like, final 3. Let's see, max area. Beast had a huge empire of 25,000. Ravenfire Gaming got up to 23,000. Greencastle, the randomly, like, I forget who they rebelled from, but the actually, I can check. They rebelled from Beast. They got pretty big. It feels weird that G-Man only ever got to 14,000. I felt like he was like the 2nd or 3rd biggest for a while. That seems incorrect. Daily Dose of Rice, similarly, only got to 13,000. Carpe Diem had 14. The game starts lagging when these two go to war because they're so fucking big. It is the year 793. We have simulated almost 800 years at this point. And Walking Drunk has just taken the title from Damick for the largest country in the world. Seems legit. We are down to the final 9 with Walking Drunk, followed by Damick, followed by Eric B. Liddy, followed by Grenisect, followed by Dumpy Bump, followed by Lilia, followed by Bloom, my friend who actually did the artwork for my PNG sprite in the corner here, followed by Mr. Mag 666, followed by Coldest Grave is still somewhere with 800 Coldest Grave on this little island. I'm gonna pour myself some more of a drink. Give me just a second here, friendos. I hate when they go to war when I'm scrolling, because it lags the scroll, so I either go way too far in or way too far out. Ooh, Damek looks like they should be eaten. Oh, nope, Walking Drunk got their troops back up. Cold as Grave is just showering Damek with their money. Damek is back to being the strongest country on Earth. Grenisect and Eric B. Liddy are fiercely fighting for third right now. I say that like we're wrapping up, and I kind of feel like with us being down to the final 7, we are more or less wrapping up. But with our top 2 countries so large, at any point they could like have 30 rebellions, and all of a sudden everyone from the Battle Royale is back to square one. Like, you don't know, right? Yeah, it's just Bloom and no, Eric B. Liddy is also supporting. What are the alliances? The Treaty of Grenisect, followed by Damek's Union, followed by Operation Eric B. Liddy. I think. Okay, so Damek just has Cold as Grave as an ally. The Treaty of Grenisect is Grenisect and Walking Drunk, so, and then obviously Operation Eric B. Liddy is everyone else. Which is just Dumpy Bump, Eric B. Liddy, and Bloom, I think. Yeah. Okay. Damn, the Damek and Walking Drunk are not pushing into each other very much at all. Like, they keep going to war and then just not being able to push one way or the other. Right? They just have this destructive front line, which must just... Walking Drunk had less money last time we checked, and that is still the case, but they are getting roughly equal money as each other, because they're like the same size. But Damek only has itty bitty Cold as Grave as his ally giving him money, and also it's not like Damek could help Cold as Grave at all if Walking Drunk decided to go eat him from here. But Walking Drunk has Grenisect, who is the 4th biggest to help give him money, and Bloom has this over here somehow. I think I'm gonna root for Bloom right now. Not necessarily. Like, I'm a fair weather friend. I will change my mind of who I'm rooting for constantly. But I'm gonna root for Bloom just because she's the smallest who isn't allied with one of the 2 biggest superpowers. Like, Cold as Grave is obviously smaller, but he's also on Damek's team. That being said, Bloom is with Eric B. Liddy and Dumpy Bump. But that's, you know. She is pushing Damek a little bit here. Oh, but she does not have the funds to fight this. She has less than 4,000 versus 180,000 gold. Right? Oh, here's another thing. So, allies, Damek has one ally. Has one active war. He's been in 166 wars. He has defeated 13 nations and had 5 revolts. He has a 42% chance to have a revolt right now, though. I don't know how Grenisect is over here. Actually, I do know. This is a wrapping map, which means here touches here, and I just now understood that an hour into this simulation. Walking Drunk has been a part of 120 wars, and they've annexed 6 nations. Shit, Cold as Grave has been in 63 wars. This has been a very turbulent 1,200 years on this little planet here we made. I know what I should have done, now that I understand how I could have made the waterway from here to here, so that I don't know, they have a huge front, and it goes all the way down to, like, this fucking crab claw thing I made. This is a huge border. It really seems to me, I'm leaned back in my chair right now, because this is the main show for now. Unless something crazy happens, and, like, we'll be able to see on the right there if something does. It's mainly, we're just watching Damek and Walking Drunk fight it out. And it really seems to me that neither one of them is actually making any headway while fighting each other. So, they're both kind of, like, trying to shimmy down and get as much as, like, of the remaining land that isn't controlled by each other as they can. But every time they, like, attack down to do that, they then attack each other and have to, like, immediately bring their guys back for defense. And also, like, if they use too much money going down south, then the other one can just start attacking them, and they won't be able to, you know, like, they're so big that if one of them falls too far... Let's see what the goal is. I'm sorry. Dumpy Bump, with an area of almost 9,000, has the second most gold in the world. I didn't realize Dumpy Bump was that huge of a player right now. If Dumpy Bump just goes balls to the wall, right? Like, they have enough, like, just... If they use their massive amount of money, they could push both Damek and Dumpy Bump and try and get their own thing going. I didn't realize they had so much money. I guess that's just from saving up for fucking 1,400 years. I mean, they're not a small nation either. They're almost 9,000, and now they have the most money because they're... The other two are constantly fighting, throwing their money to fight each other. That's really... Bloom, however, is less than 1,000 now. Oh, and they keep giving their money away, too. Bloom has 500, and they're gonna get so fucking destroyed. They're gonna run out of money, and then they can't defend themselves. I think we're about to see Bloom explode here. And then when Bloom explodes, we're gonna see the rise of Unoberg, apparently. Hello? Unoberg. You know what? I'll allow it. If Unoberg wins, someone should make an account and follow me as Unoberg. I can't imagine Unoberg will win. And Unoberg is dead. Okay. It was just a small thing. Irrelevant in the greater scheme of war, I guess. We're still watching for Bloom's destruction. I think that's the next major thing to happen, is Bloom's gonna get destroyed. Which will negatively impact the one remaining alliance that isn't about Walking Drunk and Damek against each other. And then, ad break. Ad breaks in progress. And then, so if you're not subscribed, you're in an ad break. Considering I haven't streamed for 4 months and therefore have 0 subscribers. That's everybody. So I'm just alone with my thoughts. At least until the YouTube frogs get a hold of this. Oh yeah, where was... Oh yeah. Yeah. Dumpy Bump, though, is so rich. He's the fucking... What, like Dubai? Like, like small... No, because, to be fair, he's too big to be Dubai. But you get my point, though, right? Like, small country just has a ton of money for no reason. I say for no reason, that's not necessarily true, but... Forgive my rambling. It is a symptom of my impending dementia, I'm sure. Yep. And, oh, and that, ooh, she pieced out before she could get killed by Damon. Oh, and there we're again. They really should have stopped. Oh, and they're pieced again. This is playing with my emotion. Oh, and she's at war. And she's pieced. And she's at war. And she's pieced. And war and peace and war. And peace. I think. And that's war. And now that's peace. War? War. This is war. No, wait, this is peace. I missed it. War. Peace. War. This is the real war. Oh, and she's gone. I knew it was a matter of time. Dumpy Bump, still the 5th biggest, which is to say the 2nd smallest country in the world, despite having the most money. God, shit is getting real stalematey, if you know what I'm saying. We are at the year 1600, and we are down to 6 fierce competitors out of 60 we started with, which is to say 1/10 of our, so 10%, 90% of people have been eliminated. That's how math works, right? And that's actually a little misleading. Because despite starting with 60 and having 6 left, we've actually lost like over 100% of our 60 starting competitors. Because, you know, countries popped up and then got destroyed. That being said, all of our remaining competitors are ones who have not been fully conquered yet. These are our biggest countries of all time. Green Castle is like still in the top 10, which is fucking wild. Damick and Walking Drunk are obviously so much bigger than everyone else. It's insane. Who was our smallest country of all time? 6 strengths, 3 Ambro 0 had at their peak 251 tiles. Honestly, I was expecting way worse than that. Like once we start getting more followers and adding them to the battle, like the next battle royale, we'll have like the weakest countries. Like, oh yeah, I had 11 tiles at one point. Water Bear had 285, Resru 305. Coolio only ever got up to 1519. To be fair, Coolio started here. Jazzmatazzi got up to 1771. She started here. To be fair, that's not very nice for me to say because fucking Damick started here and Damick's the one currently winning. So she just happened to start next to like the alls. Like, you know, like in like anime when there's like the tournament arc and like some people get eliminated in like the first round and you're like, oh, you suck. But then like, do they suck though if like they get eliminated in the first round but the person they got eliminated to ends up winning the tournament? Like you were just the first one to go up against the top competitor. Like what if the second strongest competitor just happened to go up against the strongest competitor first and therefore immediately lose? I always thought that was an interesting. They kind of did that in Dragon Ball Z, but then they like negated it because like in the martial, I said "cuz" like 90 times. I'm so sorry. But in the martial arts tournament in the Buu Saga, they were gonna have Goku and Vegeta be the first match, so you know the strongest versus the second strongest. And they were like, oh, this would be like having the finals in the first match. But then they were like, nah, I gotta go punch a pink blob. Someone took Ducky on just pointing him out. Because he's the biggest Twitch streamer who is also my friend. And I'm a shameless sellout. I would also point out the Krog and QWERTY show, even though they're not as big as someone took Ducky, they're still bigger than me, and also my... well, they're actually my family rather than my friends, but they're my friends too. But it would be weird to introduce... Oh, well, Krog got 13,000. It would be weird to, like... It's weird to introduce people who are your family as your friends. But, like, and I'm sure most everyone, like, not everyone who is your family is your friend. So it's like, they are my family, but they are also my friends. So, and I think of them, like, as my friends. In that there are members of my family I don't think of as my friends. And I'm sure that that is a universal experience. With the possible exception that some people don't have family members they consider friends. I'm sure everyone has family members they don't consider to be their friends. I don't know that everyone has family members they do consider to be their friends, upon further thought analysis. Like, the concept seems weird to me, but I also have to remember that, like, my family is huge. My one grandmother is one of 16 children, and my other grandmother is like one of, or my great grandmother before that was like one of 8, and then my other great grandmother was like one of 10 also, and they all had like 5 or 6 kids. So I have, like, literally hundreds of, like, cousins and uncles and aunts and second cousins and third cousins and fourth cousins. Different uncles twice removed, different, like, all of that nonsense. Like, to me, it seems weird that, like, you don't like any of your family members. But then I have to remember that, like, for some people, it's like their family is like their grandparents, their parents who were both single children, and then they don't have any siblings. Like, or like even they only know their parents or only know one parent. Like, you could have one other person be your entire family. And I've gone on a tangent now because I don't know what the hell is happening anymore. Which is to say, nothing's happening anymore. Oh, actually, Starrington. Who the fuck? Starrington showed up, and I completely missed it. They revolted from Damick, which makes sense, and someone else just got destroyed. Oh, it was the previous... God, I missed a lot just now. I'm so sorry, everybody. I was too busy qualifying an offhanded statement because I'm a nervous person, and I don't want to make anyone sad. But Starrington and Minor Folk. Minor Folk? Minor Folk. Okay. And Minor Folk are gone. Starrington's at war with Damick. And Eric B. Liddy is at war with Walking Drunk. And Cold as Grave is just chilling on their island up here. Starrington declared war on Grenisect. I know who I'm not rooting for right now is Starrington, just because they're not one of my followers. They're just some schmuck. Some schmuck who, revolted. Walking Drunk is giving money to Grenisect so Grenisect can declare war on Eric B. Liddy. They're literally fighting proxy wars. We have invented imperialism. The year is 1998. I have officially just been born. Yes, I was born in the 1900s. A fact that wasn't that weird before, but has become weirder as time goes on. Grenisect declared war on Damick, but Cold as Grave has given Damick more of their tiny amount of... I feel like this is some sort of social commentary, where Cold as Grave has $1,000 and keeps giving Damick a bunch of money. Damick is the richest country on the planet. I don't know what it's social commentary for, necessarily. I don't have some, like, great philosophical point to make. I just... Sometimes you see art do something, and you're like, I feel like art is currently taking inspiration from reality somehow, even if I don't know what it means, you know? Like, sometimes you see something in a show, and it hits you so dramatically that you're like, there has to be more to this. It can't just be a show. Like, it has to, there has to be something that made this hit like this. Damick is maintaining he's widened his lead with Walking Drunk, but it doesn't feel like they've moved much. They've been literally... It was 1,200 we got down to 6 people, right? There's only been 6 people for, like... what, 900 years now, and they've not really changed border. Like, this is the fundamental border they had when they started fighting, right? Like, this has pushed up a little bit, and this has gone south a little bit. But, like, this right here is the fundamental border they've shared for nearly a millennia. In-game. You know, I wanted to do something similar to this with, like, Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I wanted to make, like, my VIPs or subscribers or whatever, like, my officers for a game of, like, where I'm actually, you know, playing a game and trying to win with you guys as my officers. So, I might still do that, too, especially if people like my, like, strategy, whatever, bullshit, simulation, war stuff like this. Because I love this nonsense, obviously, which is why I've been watching videos of it for, like, the last week and going, you know what, I want that game. God, give me a... Well, can you guys stop being at war for 1 minute? There we go. I'm not, like, zooming around the map as often as I was earlier because the huge battles are causing so much lag that I'm like, I don't want to give you guys, like, motion sickness. Yeah, we are down to 5 now. We lost, oh, and we're back up to 6. Beria. Eric B. Liddy has been having some fucking issues. Like, he keeps, like, making strides and taking over more area. But then, like, just as he's, like, getting a real push, he fucking has a revolt and has to take care of that again. So, like, he's basically been, like, hard locked into only having, like, 30,000, which is huge, except that the 2 superpowers are double that right now. That's Barry. If I feel like the only chance Cold as Grave has is if he stops giving all his fucking money to Damick and then just builds up while no one's fucking with him. Until he eventually has so much money that he can just send, like, a huge push to get out of this corner up here. But until he stops giving all of his money to Damick, who clearly doesn't really need it, at least isn't being helped by getting 500 gold at a time. But here's Grinisect giving all of their money to Walking Drunk, 5,000 gold at a time, so like, shut up, I guess, me. Because now Damick actually does need some help. Both their militaries are... Oh! Yeah, both their militaries are changing drastically. Ooh. Revolt chance 90%, revolt chance 73%. These two are doing a really good job of holding on to their territory, considering how high a chance of revolt they have. What the fuck is Eric B. Liddy's revolt chance? 64. Okay, so... At least Cold as Grave has a 0% revolt chance. Everyone else 62, 66, 79, 90. So they are holding on. Like, this is like a guy hanging off a cliff using a rubber band. Like, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying personally, if I were the guy, I wouldn't trust the rubber band for very long. It's the year 2350. Damick and Walking Drunk have been at war for, checks notes, 1,300... For what now? 1,200 years. Well, they've been in war on and off. It finally looks like Damick is making some progress here. Damick's Union versus the Treaty of Grenisect are so very close. And that's because Eric B. Liddy is in neither of them. So Coldest Grave and Damick and Walking Drunk and Grenisect, and then Eric B. Liddy is just, I don't know, vibing. I didn't put in any extra cities, so there's only 60 cities right now, which are the major, like, hubs that if you control, you get. Oh shit, Damick is making some moves. I don't see where he's making moves, because I... Oh, yep, Damick is making some moves. God, Here we... Oh, God! My bad. My bad. They only have level 1 military right now, so they're getting cooked. Yeah. Damick has finally started making a real dent. Which caused Coldest Grave to start giving him more money, probably in like a way of like, don't kill me, please. Yeah, not only is Walking Drunk's military only level, low level, only level 2 versus level 6, they have a 90% chance of, and there's been a revolt. Wind Spot. And they revolted from Eric B. Liddy. Not from fucking Walking Drunk with a 90% chance. Nah, Eric B. Liddy. Again. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he has like a 90% tax rate, or he's like, I want all of your wives and daughters to be my concubines, or like, you know, he's just eating children for breakfast every day. Whatever it is, the people do not like Eric B. Liddy. Ooh, Briskhaven. Ooh, he revolted from Damick. He didn't get a lot of land, though. But Eric B. Liddy and him joined forces, and Briskhaven's gone. I'm still waiting for, like, one of the real, followers, you know, one of my real followers to fucking, like, revolt and get, like, half of Damick's or Walking Drunk's territory or something, like, absurd like that. Like, Aces just reappears here and just owns this entire, like, area. Just like, long live the king. Maybe Bubbles could show back up, here. I think this is where I put Bubbles. Omega Sparks was here. I think. He was here whenever he was allied with G-Man. I don't know if that's like where his starting spot was. I think this was Coolio and this was Krog and QWERTY. I actually don't know where Coldest... I think Coldest Grave was like here. Ooh, Lush Valley and Oak Corner. Oak Corner, you know, rebelled against Eric B. Liddy. Makes sense. And Lush Valley rebelled against Eric B. Liddy. Like, I swear to God, he's like... He must start his morning by clubbing a seal and then using its bones to kill a child that he eats like a delicacy or something. Like, whatever it is, the people will have their day. Will have their revenge. Lushville is gone, okay. At least he's putting down his rebellions pretty quick. If Walking Drunk and Eric B. Liddy joined forces, they could maybe fight Damick on even... Of course, I don't even know why I looked. I don't know why I looked. Of course they fucking revolted against Eric B. Liddy. Oh shit. What is this? Myston. They're not doing terrible. They're making some headway. They don't want to be another one of those, you know, Greenland or Greenhaven or whatever the fuck it was called that just got... Eric B. Liddy doesn't have a lot of money, maybe? He only has a 4% revolt chance right now if he can take back his land. Damick has lost some territory. We're gonna have to wait for the fighting to cool down so I can go up and look. Yellow Caven. He revolted against Grenisect. Where did you lose some territory, my friend? Oh, you lost territory here. Maybe? Oh, no, he got it. His numbers are back up. Whatever territory he lost, he's either gotten it back or got compensatory, a compensatory amount somewhere else. Shit, Myston has been around for almost 150 years now. That's pretty good. And has already got more money than Coldest Grave, maybe because they're not giving it to fucking Damick every 2 seconds. Ooh, New Keep. Why are they all new names? Why aren't any of Heaston? Or Heathstan? Heathstan? I don't know. Anyway, not one of my follow. I don't know why it's like this. To be fair, they betrayed Damek, or revolted against Damek, and they got a pretty good size territory. I just now got rid of the fucking bot advertisement that's been on the video for the last hour and a half. I'm sorry. Maybe those of you interested in this archaic concept of seeing what we're looking at together, you know, will be more satisfied with this. Okay, so we're back down to the final 5, like we have been for the last 1600 years. And they're all, oh, nope, we're back up to 6. North Pell. North Pell. North Pelle. The problem with, like North Pelle, for example, is they just don't have enough money to compete at all. Have you guys seen that, like, that, I guess it's a meme, but it's more like a comic of, like, he's not a stick figure, he's like a blob guy. Anyway, he has, like, a bandana on, and he has a stick, and he's, like, poking, I don't know what he's poking, but he's poking it with a stick, and he's just going, come on, do stuff. You know, a lot of people do it as, like, a reaction picture on Facebook. If, like me, you're old enough to be on Facebook still, instead of, like, TikTok or Instagram, or whatever you guys, you youngins do. That's how I feel with, like, because they keep going to war for what feels like a split second, and then not, like, piecing the war. Like, they're not, come on, do stuff. There was a revolt. The country was called Black, and before I could go over to it, it got killed again by walking drunk. So. Grenisect and walking drunk, constantly just spamming the other one money whenever they get into a conflict with somebody is really what's prolonging this, I think. Because if either one of them gets taken out, either with Eric getting a lot of this territory and getting bigger, or like Damek basically winning, or like fucking Eric and Grenisect going against Walking Drunk and taking a bunch of his shit, like one of those would like progress the game state. I was considering doing this as a video rather than a stream, but I'm like, I want to at least put on, it's the same, right? Like, I won't, but I could just edit it. I could just edit down the stream as, like, a more viewable experience, where we don't just watch, like, you know, I'll give you the highlights or something. I'm thinking I might do a second stream today. I haven't fully committed yet, but I might, like, finish up this stream and, like, upload it to YouTube and then take, like, you know, a breather. And, oh! Frightland. Brightland, not Frightland. I thought that was an F. Wait. Newington. Newington and Frightland. Brightland. Yeah, Damek is much bigger, but Walking Drunk has a sizable, like, money advantage on him, so I genuinely can't tell who's winning of the two of them. Neither one of them are up to the levels of their former glory. Eric B. Liddy is the third biggest country, but, like, their max size is also the third biggest max size of any empire we've had in our world. Shit, Newington is here to take names, apparently. Simultaneously pushing into Eric B. Liddy and Grenisect. Up, and like that, they are gone. Easy come, easy go. Hair today, gone tomorrow. And here today again. Where the fuck are they? Newington reappeared over here. They were like, nah, I ain't done. I ain't done. You ain't seen the last of me. Newington will rise again. Fucking crazy. I think think Grenisect might be the next one on the chap. Never mind. Newington will not rise again. New Bay, though. This is our current map, with a New Bay over here, Eric B. Liddy eating most of the south at the moment, walking drunk here, and Damix still controlling the northwestern hemisphere, I guess, or the northwestern portion of the map, rather. I don't know that it's really a hemisphere. Grenisect is getting eaten now, though. There's a little bit more down, but I like including Cold's grave in this. He's been a part of 201 wars. Damix been part of 588. Walking Drunk's been part of 496. Eric B. Liddy is 571. He's actually been a part of as many. Eric B. Liddy is constantly fighting. Grenisect's been part of 429. New Bay has been part of 14. How old is... New Bay's only 100 and Katanen. He won't be around for long. Don't even bother thinking about him. We're moving on. Okay? We're just moving on from Katanen. Lily Bay. Oh wait, Katenenen is back. Okay, we're up to 8 nations. Lily Bay joined Operation Eric B. Liddy. Okay, Continenten and whatever the other one was is gone now. We have New Bay still. Treaty of Grenisect also includes New Bay now. Okay. Damix Union is... Okay, alright. The New Bay Pact. What the hell? Walking Junk, Grenisect and Nube are all in a pact, the Nube pact now. Cringe. Walking drunk, doing what he's gotta do. Eric B. Liddy making serious moves right this second. Eating Grenisect and Nube. And now we have Bar Crag. God, Eric B. Liddy cannot get over 30,000. Jesus Christ. It's not even that, like, Eric B. Liddy is having so many revolutions. It's that he's the only one having so many revolutions, right? Like, the fact that Damick and Walking Drunk have, for the most part, kept their entire massive empires in line this entire time is just utterly absurd. Red Folk. Yep, Eric B. Liddy being, they were like, hey, he was at 31,000 there. What if we just shaved him a little bit? So he goes down to 29,874. Man's a trooper. Like, if I were having this problem, like, in an actual game where every time I got to, like, half of the guy in second, had to deal with revolts, I would have rage quit by now. I would have cried. I would have, like, I would have just teared up and just stared at the game before turning it off. Oh my god. Man's a trooper. Mans is a trooper. I don't know what to tell you. If we could just get Grenisect, I'm sorry that I'm rooting against you, Grenisect. I'm rooting against you just because, like, you being here is, like, like, I feel like you don't have a chance anymore, and you're just, like, prolonging the... Like, once it's Walking Drunk and Damick versus each other... Look, here's the thing. It's not necessarily that I want Grenisect to lose here, it's that I want him or Eric B. Liddy lose. I either want Grenisect to eat Eric B. Liddy or Eric B. Liddy to eat Grenisect, just so we have a three-way, like, basically even contest. Eric B. Liddy joined Operation Grenisect. Okay, so now we have a two-way, just about even, Walking Drunk Commonwealth with Eric B. Liddy, but not Grenisect. Grenisect got eaten. Or, no, Grenisect combined with Eric B. Liddy. Shit. Okay. I didn't know I could talk to Grenisect and be like, yo, here's what I want. Do it. So now we're down to 4 nations. And it's Damick and Cold as Grave versus Eric B. Liddy and Walking Drunk. Eric B. Liddy and Walking Drunk are of equalish power. And obviously together they're more powerful than the Damick Union. But Damick himself is more powerful. And if he can defeat either Walking Drunk rather, or Eric B. Liddy, he will get and knock him out. He'll get a huge swath of that power and knock out, like, half of the money. Alright, we're down, it's coming down to the wire. Eric B. Liddy finally got, through combining with, Grenisect, finally got to be above 30,000, and I think that's beautiful. A real comeback story, if you will. I'm just staring. I'm like clasping my hands together. Like, I'm like, ah, yes, here we go. This is the real. Now this is pod racing. Maybe it won't lag as much if I turn the speed down. Alright, here we go. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so we got a battle going on over here, and it's over. Damic and Walking Drunk are over here. What's the... Okay, this is Walking Drunk's capital. This is where Walking Drunk started. Really, I did not think this was a very good place to start, but he's really made it work. Personally, I feel like Damic had a much better starting position. Look at Eric B. Liddy's starting position. Just this little tiny archipelago. The Steam reviews for this game are really funny, but also kind of offensive. So you know how like, you know how people who are into World War simulators get down sometimes. They're really not the most wholesome of people, but I would say that, well, some of the jokes were offensive. It was tame compared to like a Hoi 4 lobby or something. You know, crazy like that. Was nothing absurd was said, but given some things, I don't know how comfortable I am repeating some of the jokes on Twitch. But for those of you who are into that sort of humor, I would recommend checking out the Steam reviews for this game. And a lot of them are pretty wholesome, too, in a way. I know I sound very weird trying to, like, talk around the focus of the jokes. They weren't bad, but they also, like, weren't good, you know? I'm gonna pivot away from this now. I feel like without giving away, I can't talk about this, but I don't want to talk about this. Just zoom in a little bit. Oh, the lily folk are back. And the lily folk are dead again. Just showed up to give a huge... Oh, and Milo Grave revolted against Damic. Okay, so Walking Drunk and Damic both had a revolt, one right after the other. That's pretty funny. You see, if Eric B. Liddy can push just a little bit, he can get into this waterway, and that'll open up a new frontier for the battle, I think. Will really help with him doing damage to Damic. Cold as Grave, still just vibing, giving all his money. Cold as Grave once had an empire of 11,000, and they've been consigned to this 807 tile island for like... shit, I don't even know how long. 2,600 years? At this point, I hope Cold as Grave just fucking come from, like... If Damic is able to kill Walking Drunk, obviously both him and Eric B. Liddy will start eating up the territory, but it will give Cold's Grave a chance to unimpededly rush to the island and then get into the mainland, which will let him start existing again. Really, Eric B. Liddy isn't... Oh, Eric B. Liddy and Walking Drunk are not allies anymore. I just now processed that with my 2-bit brain. But they're not allies anymore, but no, they are allies. They're allies again. Okay, cool. They're not like the Damic Union that has existed for fucking forever. God, it's like one capital is here, one capital is here, and one capital is here. Their capitals are so far away from each other as they split the world in 3. It is so... Like, for the record, like, even if they take a capital, if they have more cities, they can make that their capital instead, but it still greatly hurts them to lose their capital, and, like, unless they lose their capital, there's no chance of them losing. But, like... Damic has to fight all the way over here to get to here, to then take all of this water territory and naval battles, and then land here. Or I guess he could go from here to up here. Now that I remember, he has this fucking land over here. Ooh. Eric B. Liddy is not doing great as far as gold goes anymore, but Walking Drunk has so much gold. I don't understand all of the factors at play that decide, like, victory in combat, but I know that gold is a huge deciding factor, as in if you run out of gold, you just can't fight. I wish you could speed it up more than 5 times. Oh, Eric B. Liddy is giving all of his gold to Walking Drunk. That seems like a terrible idea. Yeah, it will mean Walking Drunk can fight more, but the thing is Eric B. Liddy is literally on the front lines fighting Damic. He's gonna run out of money, then Damic's gonna smush him, eat all this territory, get a bunch of land, and then fight Walking Drunk and win. Right? Yeah, this is... Eric B. Liddy's comp. Okay, so Eric B. Liddy gave all of his money to Walking Drunk. Walking Drunk then abandoned the alliance. And then Eric B. Liddy and Walking Drunk remade a new alliance. I was gonna say, I'm like, man, that's cold. Eric B. Liddy gave him all of his gold, so he actually can outlast... Yeah, Eric B. Liddy has 9... yeah, no. That's a critical problem. I keep looking at this area, and I feel like this area matters... the Alliance area matters so much more at the moment, but God, the gold is such a... Like, 10,000 is still a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's just not compared to 200,000 or 400,000. Especially since Eric B. Liddy had, like, a good 180,000 that he just gave to Walking Drunk, it looks like. I also just really like the name Walking Drunk. As opposed to, like, I'd also rather everyone in the comments or chat or whatever walk drunk rather than drive drunk. There's still a danger there. But at least it's mostly just to yourself if you choose to take on said dangers. It's not to everyone else. I do like that, as I was given my, like, wholesome, like, yeah, guys, don't drive drunk, hot takes only on this channel. The ad break began. So, no one even heard it. Unless they were... this is only for you, YouTube folks. This is, there's an ad break time. These ad break times are for me and you, YouTube frogs. Look at me. I love you. I'm a lover boy, not a fighter boy. And that ends the ad break. My community is back. Don't worry, we weren't talking about you with the YouTube frogs. Honestly, my YouTube community is so small. They're more like the YouTube tadpoles rather than the YouTube frogs. They're little. They're small. I do have one YouTube video that did really well, but it wasn't even one of my stream uploads. It was a video I made for YouTube. If you guys haven't seen it, I did like a Fable exploit video for Fable Anniversary. I did 4 exploits you can do before the first boss battle. It's up to like 5,000 views. It is the peak of my YouTube career thus far. Which, if you sort my videos by oldest on my YouTube, you'll see that I have videos from 8 years ago. I've been doing this for almost a decade, and I have, like, 40 subscribers and 60 followers. 40 subscribers on YouTube and 60 followers on Twitch. So I'm nothing if not committed, despite my lackluster thus far performance. But also, that means I've been doing this since, like... Oh god, I've been doing this for a while. I don't even want to think about it. Don't. And like, on my current channel I have videos from 8 years ago. My current channel is my 3rd or 4th YouTube channel. I've been doing YouTube since I was like 13. I'm a lot older than that now. Actually, you guys all know how old I am. I mentioned when we got to fucking 1998 in this game that I was like, oh, hey, guys, I was born. So anyone with a basic understanding of math knows. Within a, you know, time frame of error of, like, 11 months, you all know how old I am now. That's cool. I don't care. I probably have said it multiple times over the course. Like, I'm always like, oh, God, I gave out my name or a name of a friend or my age or whatever. I'm like, I've done it so many times. I'm sure anyone who cares can, like, look back at videos and piece together my life. Actually, when I first made the user, like, the Discord for my Twitch, I still had in my information, like, my full name and stuff, and one of the first people who, like, joined my Twitch Discord was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that you have your, like, full name and stuff visible on your Discord account. Is that cool with you? And I was like, well, no. Thank you so much for pointing it out to me. They were very kind. That was Pokemon Trainer, who died, like, not in real life, died in this game, like, 4,000 years ago. So, shout out to Pokemon Trainer for, that's not what they're called in the Discord. In the Discord, they're called, Gum Gum. I just now looked at the Discord and saw that I was making a post. It was like, hey guys, come to my attention. I haven't streamed since November. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to do better. That was halfway through February. And then another half a month went by before I actually bothered to figure out what I wanted to stream. There's also like a lot of things that I've wanted to do on YouTube. I'm sorry, we're at a stalemate right now between the three kingdoms. So this has just become like fucking riff for another hour or whatever. I'm just gonna talk. I hope you guys don't mind me talking. 'Cause like, yeah, I'm just gonna talk while together we watch the colors on the screen go boo. A lot of times, like, I'm playing video games and I'm like, I want to talk more, I want to tell stories more, but I'm too busy focusing, especially if I'm trying to show stuff off, like in the Fable video where I'm showing off the exploits. Like, during my whole Fable playthrough, and someone commented, and they were so nice, and I just... That's really why I'm streaming again today. It's just people have been constantly so, like, beyond what I deserve, kind to me and my efforts to make content. And I really appreciate, like, all of the comments and all of the anyone who's like watched one of my videos or left a like or left a comment or anything. I so, like, almost embarrassingly appreciate it. Okay, like I've been to like my friends and been like, man, someone left a comment where they were like, hey, the video is pretty good, and I started crying. They're like, of course you did. You're a bitch. I'm a very emotional boy. Don't have to tell you. But yeah, they left a comment of like, oh man, I really like when you like comment and point out cool things about the games. Like, they were commenting on my his name is just Trout on YouTube. Was really sweet. He's left me a few comments now. And one of his comments he made was in reference to my Fable 2 video, because in the beginning of the Fable 2 playthrough, which, by the way, I played through all 3 Fable games in their entirety on streams. Like, they're my biggest, most complete series of games, and right after the 3 Fable games, and then the Jade Empire game, because they were, like, the perfect length for me to get through in a stream series. But, in the second one, I'm pointing out, like, right at the beginning, you go through stuff that's all references to the first game. And so I'm, like, pointing them all out, because I've played through both Fable 1 and Fable 2, like, at least 9 times each. And I played through Fable 3 probably, like, 6 or 7 times, even though it's the least of the games. So I'm just like, oh yeah, here's all of this knowledge I have. And they're like, oh, that's really cool that you pointed it out. And I was like, oh my god. I thought I was just being nerdy and cringe and annoying. I'm so glad that someone actually appreciates it. So I'm not normally as talkative. Like, there are several, like, other friends who have tried to do content creation stuff, like Reservoir, have pointed out to me that I often have dead air, he calls it, where he's like, where you're not talking, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm playing a video game. I'm just letting that carry the stream for a few minutes. Like, you know, people can pay attention to the gaming. And I never know, like, where I stand on that, like, as a content creator of, like, I want to be funny and have, like, be a personality and, like, have that drive my content. But I don't know if like, part of it is, like, people more like that I'm just super obsessive about video games and can like point out a bunch of stuff that I'm generally good at games, especially like RPGs and stuff. So I don't know if that's like a big part of like the few people who have liked my videos, like that it's more about the gaming content than the me talking content. And I don't know how many people are like, yeah, no, I just think you're funny. You said the funny haha. And I like your little sprite now. So I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just... That's some of my thoughts on, like, the content I'm making. And... which brings me to my original point for when I went on this long tangent about where I started being like, this person said this and I started crying, was that this particular game, especially as a stream format as opposed to like a cut together video where I play for 3 or 4 hours but then just cut it together, like be like a 20-minute video, is that there's the, like, we're gonna get to this point again, like no matter how many times we do this, there will be a point where either there's like 2 or 3 people left and they're just so equally matched that neither one of them is making any progress one way or the other. So that's gonna, like, after the first hour or 2, it's gonna just leave me here talking. Which, if people are into that, like, you want me to, like, I have plenty of shit to say. I talk to myself all the time. I could talk for 5 hours. I don't care. But I don't know that anyone wants to listen to me. So, dependent, like, you know, in the comments or whatever, or maybe in the Discord, be like, hey, I liked this video, or nah, I really wasn't feeling it. I think I would rather you focus on other content, please. Feel free to give feedback. I say things like I'm good at taking criticism. I'm not. I will cry regardless. If you're nice to me, I'll cry. If you're mean to me, I'll cry. It doesn't matter. I'm really bad at any kind of feedback. But for the purposes of, like, you know, how I'll respond to you via, like, the internet, like writing comments or replying to comments or in the Discord or whatever, I will appear as though I was very gracious regarding whatever criticisms you have. So, because of that, feel free to give me criticisms. I don't think my own penchant to not be able to take them very well is really an excuse to, like, not try to take them very well. One of the things, there's a bunch of things I've always wanted to do content-wise. Like, one of the earliest ones I've always wanted to do is I want to do, like, a podcast, but I can never get, like, enough people or the people I want, or if I do get people, multiple people, they don't have, like, the same times available to, like, be part of a podcast. And, like, when I was younger, like, in my earlier YouTube channels, I was, like, part of a group with, like, different friends and, like, my younger brother. So we did more multiplayer games, but I don't do that as much anymore because it's just me doing my Twitch and YouTube right now. So I've wanted to, like, get my other friends to, you know, be in videos with me and do, like, multiplayer. And I have done like, a little bit. Like, me and Chadwick played Stardew Valley, and I did stream me and my friends playing Call of Duty and, like, playing Dread Hunger or Halo or whatever. But that's more like turning on the stream when we're already hanging out. It's not, like, content driven necessarily, and I'm like, I more want to do, like, hey, can we do a series with these parameters for, like, content driven things? And it's just really, like, they're busier people with whatever, and so we end up not doing it, or they don't feel comfortable on camera, and they are like, we don't want to, like, perform to the camera, and I'm like, that's fair, but I just... So, for reasons like that, I haven't done as much multiplayer content as I wanted to do, or, like, I've never started my podcast, even though I've always wanted to do, like a video podcast of some kind. Audio, video like that stuff. I've just never done it, but I still intend to at some point. And there's also, like, newer things that I've, like, found, especially, like, seeing other people do that I want to do. Not necessarily because I'm like, oh, this did well, I'll do well, I'll just copy other YouTubers, but more in a, like, people will do a thing, especially game-related, and I go, that looks really fun. I would like to do that for fun. Like, I don't know who, anyone, like, Salty DK Dan did a friend lock, and I'm like, that looks so much fun, I want to do a friend lock, but the problem with that is similar to my problem I've already explained about the podcast and the other multiplayer game. Like, if I can't get, like, 3 people together to play, like, a fucking RPG through the story together, you know? Like, Baldur's Gate or a Fable 3 or whatever, I'm not gonna get fucking 20 people together to roleplay as Pokemon for 8 hours, am I? Like, that's just not feasible. That's, like, outrageously difficult comparatively. I have, like, on my older YouTube channels, I have done, like, live action skits, but I'm less in shape than I used to be. And, so I'm more conscious about my body and things like that, so I'm just like, I don't know that I want to do live action skits no more. I can't do all that running and jumping and, going into the woods to film whatever, you know? And also, like, I used to do skits with different people, and I just, like, people are busy now, we're older, we're adults. So I can't just, like, show up at their house and be like, come on, we're making a video. Plus, to be fair, I have no idea where my video camera is anymore. There's a good chance that my brother has it, and to be fair, it's his too. We bought it together, like we put together money, and so it's not like he stole it or anything. I just think he happens to have it, which is why I don't know where it is. Ooh, Black Hut. Black Hut already has more money than Eric B. Liddy. Oh, and Minnow Rock. Okay. Is this how giants fall? Damek finally got too big for his britches, and now his empire's gonna fucking collapse like the Romans did? Only took Czech's notes 5,000 years. Oh. Black Hut fell. Yeah. So as for content, we're absolutely gonna continue Legaia 2, though, in addition to not filming it for fucking 4 months, I never did the grinding I said I was gonna do. So I'm also gonna have to grind off camera before continuing my Persona playthrough, because I still need to do the grinding. And, we got a bunch of stuff, after that. I have, like, at least 10 or 11 PlayStation 2 games I want to play, but I also have set up so that I can record Switch games and stuff, and I have, Fire Emblem Three Houses and Fire Emblem Engage I want to play through. I kind of want to play through Fire Emblem Three Houses 3 separate times, at least. Not all in a row, obviously. I'm setting up doing the DLC for Three Emblem or Three Houses though, so that you can get like the extra characters in the main story, because like the side story is a pain in the ass, so I'm not gonna do that on camera, because I just don't hate myself that much. As well as, like, I have some games that I've, like, never played that I have set up to record, including PlayStation 2 and Switch games. I also have the 3DS Fire Emblems and the 3DS Pokemon ready to go, so we're gonna do, like, Nuzlocke in, like, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and, like, Oraz or X and Y. I have set up, just for my own fun, Pokemon Brilliant Platinum or Luminescent Platinum, and I'm playing that. I might stream some in it. It wouldn't be like a full playthrough. It would just be I'm streaming in the game because I'm having fun with it. That's another thing I have set up. I also got, because of that, I have Pokemon Sword and Shield as well as Scarlet and Violet set up to do like Nuzlocks in. I don't know how I would randomize those, but I'll look into it. I'll also look into randomizing like Oraz or Sword and Shield or Sun and Moon, rather. I also want to do Fire Emblem Conquest, or Fire Emblem Fates, Homecoming, Conquest, and whatever. That's the 3DS one. I haven't actually, like, I've played it, but I've never actually, like, gotten very far. I also have Fire Emblem, like, shit, what's it called? The one with Lucina and Chrom. That one I have beaten, and it's like, I really like that one. So we'll definitely do that at some point. So well, I haven't been streaming. I've been setting up different, like, things to capture stuff and, you know, make videos in different games. So I have tons of stuff to do. Plus we got the remake of Super Mario RPG. There's this turn-based strategy, or this strategy RPG Gundam game I got. That looks cool as fuck. I've never played it, but I look forward to playing it. I also got Tactics Ogre, which I've never played. I plan to play the Landgrisser remake at some point. Both Landgrisser 1, which was Warsong for the Sega Genesis originally, and Landgrisser 2. I say originally, I mean, like, that's how I know of it originally. It was originally Landgrisser, but then the American, like, translation was Warsong. We plan to do some Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I already talked about that earlier in the stream, where I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna make my followers officers for me, which I may or may not do, or maybe I'll do that and also just play the game. I want to try Sudeki again at some point, because we never finished Sudeki, but that was a lot of fun. But I was doing that on my when I was recording on my dad's computer, but I have my own computer now. But subsequently, because of that, I lost my save file, which is why I stopped doing that series originally, however many years ago. I want to do some Stardew Valley. I have like a huge mod pack. The only thing is whenever I have mod packs, like whenever I go to Nexus and I just hit like download this mod pack, I don't go buy the mod packs one by one. I am terrified that for some reason, like in Stardew very expanded mod pack that just adds like a bunch of stuff is gonna be like, oh yeah, and then we added this sex scene for some reason, you know. Like, it sounds crazy, but I've seen some shit, okay, when it comes to the fucking mod community. Have you... going into Skyrim looking for, like, extra armor and weapons and stuff, and, like, the top 50 mods are all like, would you like to fuck this NPC? Would you like a blowjob? Would you like the O-Sex module? And I'm like, no. What are you talking about? God, I would love to play Mountain Blade Bannerlords, but Bannerlord completely does not work on my computer anymore. Like, even when I, like, get rid of everything and, like, fresh install, it just refuses to load on my computer. It's the weirdest fucking thing, and it just... I'm like, okay, I just can't play Bannerlords anymore. Speaking of Hoy... Oh my god, that was a voice crack. Sorry, I've been talking... I'm talking so long, I'm talking gibberish. Speaking of Hoy 4, Hearts of Iron 4, I plan to probably play that at some point. It seems like the sort of thing that's an event. It's right, it's like the average, like, that's a commitment. And like a lot of it is like this, where we're just sitting here, but I'm like, I could do, especially if I get friendos to play with me. It will be a good chance to talk about stuff. Plus, I have friends who play it, so maybe I could be like, oh, G-Man. G-Man's another one. He somewhat recently. I say someone recently in the context of I haven't streamed in 4 months, and it wasn't my most recent stream, but it was still, like, among the most recent streams. Was the one who battled me in Pokemon and decried my Whale Lord as a war crime or something to that effect, if I recall correctly. Okay, it was 6 videos ago on my YouTube. That's, 3 streams ago, maybe? Sorry, my cat knocked stuff down and I had to pick it back up. I knew this was going to be a time commitment. I underestimated how much of a time commitment. I also never finished Fire Emblem 6. It just comes down to I was getting my ass kicked so hard that I'm not gonna win if I keep going. I'm just not, and I'm just like, I don't wanna. I need to. No, I should have finished my Fire Emblem 6 playthrough. It was actually doing pretty good and stuff. I'm lazy and scatterbrained. I do like that, like, Cold as Grave gave Damick 371 gold, and Eric B. Liddy gave Walking Drunk 5,000 gold, like, 6 times in a row. Yeah. 309, 250, 230, 189. pause it for a second. It just occurred to me I can pause it and then position the map however I want. There we go. Continue. I feel like a referee walking out in the middle of no man's land in World War I. Like, hold up, hold up, hold up. Wellness check, wellness check. Gotta check with one of the players. You, Mr. German soldier, get a red card. You're out of here. German soldier starts fucking pogging. Gets to go home. Doesn't die in horrific agony. I'd also like to do a D&D podcast thing, like Adventure, like Adventure Zone, or Critical Role, or oh, there's a few other good ones that the names escape me at the moment. God, fuck. There's like, not necessarily. I mean, it is D&D, but it's like such a not Dungeons and Dragons setting that like my brain goes, "Oh, that's not D&D. That's just a tabletop game." But it is actually D&D. There's like this one where they're like, it's like spaceship type thing, and one of the characters is like this. He's like this goo blob guy. Like, he was like a weapon that was being developed, and like, he doesn't know anything. He's just learning things for the first time, so he's like playing like a newborn baby that is like just like a newborn baby, but like mentally, but like very intelligent and quick learning kind of thing. So he's like, he's smart, but he doesn't have any basis of knowledge, and he's such a good role player. And I don't remember. It's like they're trying to build a spaceship. The goo guy came out of this like NPC that exploded. Oh fuck, what is that called? I don't know what it's called. It's really bothering me. Give me a second. I'm literally looking up Pipe Dreamers. It's called Pipe Dreamers. Yes. Oh god, the goo guy from Pipe Dreamers is so fucking good. First of all, he's fucking hilarious, but second of all, he's just like role-played so well. I also like the style in which Pipe Dreamers does it, where like, because I already mentioned my aversion to like being actually on camera anymore, and that I like the idea of just being a little anime boy on the internet from now on. Like my little PNG, that's who I am. That's me. I'm Loverboy. This represents me. From now on, this is my face. Look at me. I am anime now. But they use the same PNG thing, but like their art of their characters. So like every time they talk, their character does what my little sprite does. And I think that would be ideal. My only thing though is I always DM in play, and I know a lot of people do that, theater of the mind, like exclusively. And I know a lot of other people do that too, but that doesn't, I always feel like that's harder to do. Especially if you're not like, you know, charismatic dynamos or like, you know, like I think the Adventure Zone is almost all theater of the mind because it was like an audio podcast, right? But like Pipe Dreamers and stuff have like the D20 or online D20 like maps, and I've never been good with those conceptually. They seem like too like my D&D campaigns are so fast moving from like one area to another that are all so vastly different that it's a level of grounding that would so slow the pace of my storytelling. Greenville is back, by the way. That I would struggle to DM under those circumstances. But I worry that if I do just theater of the mind, it would really turn off a lot of people. Especially if there's like no, I don't know, the people I would like to play with, I also worry about their I don't know how to say this, the camera presence, I guess, like their ability to not disrupt the to keep everything cohesive. Like, I'm not saying that they're like hooligans, I'm just saying they're hooligans, okay? And that the cohesiveness of the narrative and the storytelling will maybe fall apart, and it would make it harder to do it as like a piece of media entertainment rather than just a game. And I'm not saying that's a problem necessarily for when we're just playing D&D. Like I enjoy it, obviously. Like where like people break character and there are jokes and things like that. But like I worry about doing a D&D podcast thing as like trying to tell a cooperative storytelling for like a video podcast thing. It would really suffer as an end product, I guess. And also, like, I don't want to have to direct any of my friends on camera. Like, I'm not saying, like, give them a script for D&D, like, we would actually play D&D, but I don't want to have to be like, hey, could you tone down, like, interrupting this, or can you do this, or, like, and, like, having to, like, lay down the law with them, because I feel like that would be, like, a weird tension. Like, I think it would be fun, and I want to do stuff with my friends, but I also don't want to, like, put some sort of, like, work relationship onto my friendships and burden like the possible purity of my friendships where they're like where it gets like I don't want like a weird dynamic that would maybe bleed into other aspects of our friendship. And also I would hate if like, you know, they're like we would get into it and then they would be like, oh, this isn't, like, after I had to put down the law, you know, be like, hey, I need you to, like, get your act together. Also, East Castle was formed. Get your act together and stuff. That they would go, this really isn't for me. I don't want to, like, do the thing anymore. And then, like, depending on how far along, like, the setup for the thing was, I don't want to be like, well, now I resent you for not following through with this idea that I put a lot of work into, you know? Like, if I go through the setup of setting up like their character arts or like setting up like times for the videos, if they're just like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be annoyed at them and then like again put undue stress on my friendships. So I don't know, man. I've been spitting a stream of consciousness for an hour now, and it doesn't look like the stalemate has at all began to break. This is too big of a map. I need to make a smaller map, I think. I think I need a smaller map. This is too big. Yeah, I feel like fucking Squidward from the episode where the Krusty Krab was open 24 hours. Where it's like, give it up for day 23. Day 23. I'm sitting here like, oh, give it up for hour 3 of staring at an MS Paint board. It's the year 6040. Damn it, I mean, it's still a stalemate. Damick is making incremental progress, but like in an hour he's made what, 20,000 extra land tiles? He went from like 70,000 to 92,000 in an hour. He needs to go from 92,000 to 200,000. I understand it's exponential. Like, if he beats either Eric B. Liddy or Damick, or not, or Damick, or Walking Drunk, then it's over, right? And then he'll, like, just, it will be like a whale. It's just sitting on their back. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. I feel like killing Eric B. Liddy would still leave Walking Drunk with so much money that Eric B. Liddy has given him already, that it would just, like... You know, I don't know that it would make that big a difference. Because Eric B. Liddy keeps giving him all his money. And he would get a bunch of the Eric B. Liddy's land, I think. Well, at least he would get land starting from here and here. He would go down and get this, but I don't know, because Damick is here and here and here and here, and this is just bigger areas. He would definitely get this. Damick would definitely get this area that's closed in via mountains. Sorry, I just needed to give my throat a break for a second. From just yapping. I'd be yapping. Walking Drunk declared war on Cold as Grave. Walking Drunk has been getting closer and closer to Cold as Grave. I don't know how much that would help him. Like, what would Cold as Grave get him that he's not getting from... I'm sorry, I completely... Man, I zoned out there for a second. Where was I? Oh, Major Pell with 34 blocks. Right there. No? Couldn't even click it at this site. It's so... 40. Yeah. It had 222 blocks, a major empire, to be sure. 1/4 the size as the incredibly old Cole. Oh, it's gone. It's dead. I didn't. Damick having fought 1,097 wars. What's the most wars in history of a real country? Before I look it up, I'm going to guess that it's either China or France. So it's really not super clear. Like no one. Like I'm looking it up on Google. Like what real country has fought the most wars? And they're Google's being really cagey with giving me a direct answer. Like it's a lot of like Reddit ask posts of like, hey, what country has fought the most wars? I do have a statistic for which country has won the most battles, which is France, which is something I knew. France has won the most battles of any country. At 1,100, I didn't know the number. It's 1,115 battles. To UK is in second. UK, England, United Kingdom / England is at 1,105. So they've won 10 less battles than France. The United States is in third with 833, and Russia's at 491. Then is Germany, then Spain, then Poland, then Rome. I cannot believe that China is not on that list. Because it's not on this list, but I'm wondering if they're counting China as in its entirety of like 6,000 years of existence, or if they're counting like each government taking control of the region as its own government. Like the Qing dynasty is a different country than like the Communist Party of like the People's Communist Party of China or whatever the fuck. You know? Like they're just not the same country. But I would of course argue about like monarchies and stuff kind of making, I don't know, I feel like that would be a weird distinction to make, wouldn't it be? They still have always considered themselves to be China, and they're roughly the same massive area in Asia. Unless you're like, Taiwan. really nettled that there is no, like, clear, definitive answer that I can find about who has actually been in the most wars. It looks like the best answer I'm gonna get is that Britain is considered often to be the answer, having fought in 110 wars. That seems like bullshit. I mean, no, that makes... See, the answer of it being Britain doesn't sound like bullshit to me, because Britain had the largest empire the world has ever known. They controlled 25-ish% of the planet at one point. They controlled Australia, India, and Canada. And England. And so many other places. Simultaneously. Right? So it makes sense that, you know, you conquered the most of the world, made the biggest empire the world has ever seen, you probably fought the most wars. I can accept that as an answer. 110 just seems so low, though, for the country having fought the most wars. Like, I don't know, I guess I'm thinking about it. I guess that's not as absurd as it sounded originally. Because I think of, like... I guess I'm thinking more battles than wars. Because I'm like, oh, actually, this, like, whole Chinese thing for, like, this period for, like, 100 years is just one war where they're just they're at war the entire time and constantly doing different battles. It's not like it's a new war each time. So I guess that makes sense. Okay, anyway, my point is that Daemok has now fought in 1,100 wars, which is so much more than 110. So we have a even bloodier world here than reality, which is crazy. Because have you been in reality? Man, we stay killing each other for no reason. Eric B. Liddy looks like he's in trouble. He has no fucking money. Eric B. Liddy was just taken down. Oh, Eric B. Liddy got absorbed into the Walking Drunk. They made one... Okay, we're down to the final 3. And Walking Drunk, having absorbed all of Eric B. Liddy's land, is now so close to the same size as Daemok, except he has 3 times as much money. 4, almost 5 times as much money, actually. Shit. Now this is war. I don't like that they're back to being evenly matched on the year 6760. I'm surprised Cold as Grave hasn't, like, been absorbed by Damic yet. Walking Drunk is pushing into Damic's territory. Oh my god, we kept this going to another ad break. The ad break hasn't started yet. It starts in 3 minutes. So if you want to take a small break from this riveting gameplay and go get a drink or something, now would be the time. Don't worry, YouTube frauds. We'll be alone. You'll be safe with me. You're gonna be like, I need an adult. I'm gonna be like, I am an adult. Oh shit, Damic's about to hit 6 digits for the first time. That's a lot farther than I meant to zoom out. That's about better. Oh, Walking Drunk is pushing Damic back. What weapons do you think they're fighting with now in the year 6893? Fucking 5,000 years from now. They got like fucking Mobile Suit Gundams that have like chain guns, but like the chain gun just shoots out nuclear missiles. Like these battlefield, especially like it's just us YouTube. Especially this right here, this front and this front, wastelands, absolute blood. No one lives here. No one has lived between this range of hills and this mountain range in thousands of years. It's just not inhabitable to live anywhere here. It's just like they they have like missile silos on the hills and on the mountains, and they're just dumping them into this. This is just a crater right here. There's nothing here. Or maybe they have, like, behind the mountain, they have, like, artillery that shoots, I don't know. Or maybe they have lasers now. Maybe the entire idea of shell anything or hard casings for anything, like even like nuclear payloads, are just outdated because it's like, I'm just gonna hit you with a laser beam. Or maybe it's not laser beams. Maybe they're so advanced at this point, 5,000 years from now, that like we don't even have a concept for whatever they're using. Like maybe they have like fucking, like, it looks like a gun and they shoot it and it just makes everything in that direction have a brain hemorrhage. Like the sniper rifle, like they pull the trigger, no bullet comes out, and just whoever they were looking at just dies, like brain hemorrhaging. Or maybe I'm thinking too offensive. Maybe like because of the constant war, maybe the entire paradigm has switched. Like we're no longer like coming up with more and more brutal and efficient ways to kill each other. Instead, like for 5,000 years, like the emphasis has been on like defense, like keeping people alive. So like maybe that's why they're taking so long, because they still have like like fucking AK-47s, M16s from like the 1970s or some bullshit. Or maybe they have like whatever we're using now in the military that I don't know, like fucking M4s. And you know, that sort of jazz. The only gun I know is an M4 off the top of my head that would be like a current gun. But like they've like encased everybody in like Spartan suits, and the Spartan suits you put on before getting into the Gundam. And then like when you're like the Gundam, you have like multiple drones that come up and like make bubble shields around you or something. So it's just constantly like, yeah, the wars are constantly going on, but like each battle is like 5 people died. Because they have so many layers of protection defending them from like weapons incapable of really getting through all their defenses, and it's only through like sheer accuracy through volume that anyone ever dies in war now. Or maybe there's no one even on the battlefield, you know? Like it's easier to keep people alive if they're not even on the battlefield, and the battle is just entirely like unmanned drones at this point. So like, yeah, no one lives here because robots keep flying from here and here, and they just keep crashing into each other over and over again. So it's like a huge pile of so many resources, but literally not one person has died in 5,000 years of war because they're all robots now. Damick established a core for 29. Okay, I think the cores are the cities that can become your capitals. So he is spending tens of thousands of dollars to, if he loses his capital, he can put it somewhere else. And also probably the cores like don't revolt against you, which I guess is a big consideration, considering both of these fuckers have a 90% chance of being revolted against. So Damick's just gonna try and core things and then hold them off until his empire falls apart with his 90% chance of a revolt. It is absurd that they both have 90% chances of a revolt, and neither of them have had a revolt in millennia. Like, literally, the last time we had a revolt, it was right here in this land that no one lives in anymore. And it was, like, not even the year 6000 yet. Well, speak of the devil. Hellcaven is just a generic name. I would name him after one of my followers just to make sure that, like, he fits into the canon of this whole deal. But fucking I don't want to, like, give someone the chance to win again, like, unfairly. Doesn't matter. Hellcaven exploded before I could even finish my thought about why I wasn't gonna, like, rename him as Bubbles or something. Maybe I could set the precedent that I'll rename them based on wherever they spawned, like who was there originally. So, like, if they revolt in a city, I name them after whoever city that was as a starting point. Because, realistically, whoever is in charge there should be that person. Okay, I've talked myself into it. Next time there's a revolt, I'll name it based on whoever was there. Coldest Grave is putting up the fight of a lifetime. Also, Damick finally breached 6 digits. To be fair, with as big as Walking Drunk is, it's not like that claims him any kind of victory, but it's cool to see that we finally got there. For the reference, there is, like, the world map, so I could have done this on, like, a map of Earth. I think, like, 100,000 tiles would be, like, if he controlled all of Asia, Europe, Australia, and half of Africa consecutively. Like, this is a huge country. Which makes sense, because that would leave the Americas and the other half of Africa for Walking Drunk, and the two of them have split the world in two. Ooh, Yellow Keep. Okay, we're gonna pause. We're gonna look in. Hello, Yellow Keep. Who the fuck was here? I thought maybe if I looked at the town that, that would tell me who the previous... It says the rifle owner is just Damick. Let's see here. I should have taken allow new nations off. I'll take that now. Of course, it's not gonna matter, because they're just gonna... They're gonna appear as the nations that have already existed, because I didn't do that immediately. So, like, if Yellow's... For example, if Yellow Keep is taken out, he's now a part of the game, so he's not a new nation if he, you know, revolts again. But maybe... Maybe that'll help. I don't know. I feel like at this point, Walking Drunk should just wave offensive. Like, even if he starts losing ground, he just has so much more money. Eventually, Damon's gonna... Or Damick, rather, is gonna run out of money and then not be able to defend, and then Walking Drunk will just eat his entire territory. All this stopping and starting, like losing a little bit of territory and then stopping so Damick can get his money back and then starting again and losing a little bit of territory is, like, I feel like if this were a strategy game and I was in Walking Drunk's position, that would be the last thing I would want to do. Or Walking, yeah. Maybe we'll do the next one just on the world map. My map might be a little too choke pointy. Be a little too like promotes the kind of stalemate we're in right now. A little too, the war has been going on since the fucking, for 7,300 years. You know? A little too, I talked about nothing for an hour, and we're still, like, the map looks the fucking same as it did an hour ago. Ooh, cold as grave. Walking Drunk has finally landed on Cold as Graves Island. Let's pause so I can get a closer look here. There we go. This is real shit. Uh-huh. Is he gonna push him off his island? Not quite. Close. He's missing one tile on his island. Oh, he took his island back. Oh. Pushed him back into the water, at least. Thousands of years in the making. They have held this island for thousands of years. Oh boy. Cold as grave be like, I'm fighting for my fucking life out here. You know? Poor guy. Or girl. I don't actually know. Nor care. Pushed him back into the water again. Oh shit. Cold as grave is not fucking around. Though they have 1/100th of the economy as their enemy. That does seem like quite a problem. To be fair, their 1/100th of their economy is in line with the fact that they have 1/100th of the size. God, this is the most brutal landing. This is this is what the Japanese thought those coral reefs were gonna do before the Americans brought out the tractors. The island that they were defending, they were like, ah, yes, if you try to land on the island, there are coral reefs. It will stop your boat, and then we will shoot you. But then the fucking Americans, of which I am a one, I am a fucking American even. They just put tracks, like a tank track, on their boats, and they just went over the coral reefs. But before that development, the Japanese were like, it'll take 1,000,000 men 1,000 years to take this island. That is the battle they imagined is the battle that is happening with Cold's Grave defending this shitty little island. The entire island is 807 tiles. For the record, the size of your nation does not include your navy tiles, which is why he gets up to 807 whenever he pushes them back into the water. However, when I was designing the map, the navy tiles did count for the total number of tiles I placed. So, I mentioned earlier, if you can even remember the long-forgotten times of 2 hours ago, that my map said it was like 200,000 tiles, and if you, like me, did the quick math of 96,000 plus 87,000 plus 807 does not equal up to 200,000, that would be the reason for the discrepancy. Is the area statistic is only counting the land area, but the map amount, like the map tile placed, is counting the waterways, because there's still tiles that can be taken. Man, they're the fucking Cold's Grave Navy. Crazy. Honestly, this is an insane battle. It's insane that a superpower like Walking Drunk was able to land on Cold's Grave's island, and then Cold's Grave was able to recover from that. I thought as soon as they landed on his island that he was fucked. I was like, oh, they land on his island, that's the end of him. That's why we zoomed in to watch the final battle. And no, he's just like, no, I'm call an ambulance. But not for me. Damick just re-breached 6 digits as far as land size goes. I feel like I should probably zoom out again. I feel like this Cold's Grave versus Walking Drunk is not going to be as conclusive as I thought it was. Also, it's crazy to zoom out from the country that is 807 tiles to look at the other two countries that are 84,000 and 99,000. What would be funny is if I made like a map that is just like if there's gonna be like 60 competitors again, like there was when we started this, if I made a map that was just like 600 tiles. So it's just they're all fighting over. There's 10 tiles for every nation. I don't know if the joke would be worth it when the stream was only 10 minutes long, but I feel like doing the polar opposite of doing this fight, where it's just endless suffering. This stream will break the will of the strong or torture the weak. Or backwards, I think. Torture the weak and... or break the will of the weak and torture the strong. It doesn't help that it keeps fucking lagging because of the size. Like, you can see in the top right, it's like, 0 frames per second. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing on my computer that could be causing that, other than just this game is not the most optimized game in history. Hippity hoppity. This map is my property. My math isn't mathin', because to me it looks like Damek is gaining less than Walking Drunk is losing. Like, it looks like Walking Drunk has gone down more than Damek has gone up. Unless they're straight up nuking tiles out of existence. Like there's just less land than there used to be now. Ah! And it just keeps coming, 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 and it just keeps coming. Give me just a second here. Alright, here we go. This made me feel like this picture was relevant. Oh, there we go. Just wanted to make sure that's behind it. Okay. What else can we add to the silly picture? Oh god. Okay. Alright. Oh, I'll fix it now. Sorry. Sorry for intense cringe levels. There we go. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Okay, I'm gonna give them like 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna go into sudden death. Cause I don't have enough talking points to like, you know, go for another hour. Like, I appreciate what they doing. A little bit. But I realize that I'm just sitting here quietly, and that's not really a streamer thing I should be doing. Because I talked for an hour and a half about nothing. Shit, it's been almost 4 hours. Guys, I'm tapped. I'm done. I ain't got no more Beppis in me, okay? I'm just straight up tired. I'm tired now, boss. Okay, that's it. It has been 8,000 years. We're going to sudden death, alright? Damic, walking drunk, and cold as grave. And we're like, what do you mean? Going to, sudden death. What I mean is, we're going to get a small, create a small custom map, okay? is a 50 by 50 little map, okay? Do. Here it is. Here is our sudden death map. Alright? Alright. Needs to be at least 2,500 tiles. Alright. Not alright. Okay, cool. We need a bigger... That is not... Current tile size is 2,500. Oh, okay, so I need to... This is the minimum it can be. Got it. Here we go. Sudden death. New game. We're going to go to sudden death as opposed to the 600 by 600 burning land. We're going to the 50 by 50 sudden death. Brain, please. Brain? Brain, think. What was... Okay, we'll hold off for that for a second. Walking drunk. Versus Damek. Who will be getting a slight advantage because he was winning. Not edit terrain, edit territory. There you go. And walking drunk will get a tiny advantage because he was definitely beating I'm literally blanking on who this was. Guys, oh my god, my memory, please. I was literally staring at them for 3 hours. It's been 2 minutes and I already forgot who it was. Don't mind me, just going to my video producer so I can look at my followers and hope that I can remember them when I see them. I think they started with a D. I'm so annoyed that I'm literally, guys, I'm literally getting dementia. This is crazy. How can I not? It was cold as grave. Holy hell. Alright. Crisis averted. I can't. Welcome to sudden death, everybody. Begin. Walking drunk and Damick made an alliance. Okay, so we're back to walking drunk versus Damick. Alright. And so we have the first winner. The first winner of the Loverboy821 Followers World War. Damick. Or not Damick, Walking Drunk. Congratulations, Walking Drunk. You did it in sudden death. I'm sorry to Damick, who was potentially, definitely going to win eventually. Just, I wasn't willing to spend the next 7 hours to see it to fruition. And so I gave Walking Drunk a more sporting chance. And I apologize if that was a little unfair. But, you know, it is what it is. And, I appreciate everyone. Walking Drunk will be getting a bonus of some kind next time we do this. And I will be making a different, smaller map for the next one. A more competitive map, perhaps. Thank you so much for joining me for the first ever Loverboy821 Follower War. I hope that I stream soon and we'll see more. Oh, let me make my face big again before I forget. Oh god, I'm so much bigger now. Love you all. Bye.